Hello there, it is Gigi with Invite the Light coming to you with a reading on Khabib from the UFC. And now I have so much trouble pronouncing his last name, even though I was saying it a few hours ago. It's like Nurmagomedov, or I don't have it in front of me, so pardon me, Khabib, if you happen to be watching this video and I just butchered it. Sorry about that. So my whole thing is I accidentally filmed a live on my other channel, like on my official channel. This channel is like my play fun thing, I guess you could say, sometimes with the celebrity thing. I have another channel where I do readings that are non-celebrity readings and stuff like that. And that video is there. I'll post the link in it. It's about 40 minutes long and it's quite in depth. So basically, a lot of it, what it's saying is that Khabib, is basically, he's kind of playing it easy right now, but his I feel like his ulterior motive is to get out of the UFC. Doesn't want to do it. Also has a bit of a family factor. I think that his wife may possibly be having another child. I'm not exactly sure, but there's like this whole thing also for him to want to be home. Meanwhile, on the UFC side, I saw possibly, because the cards were using two queens, which are women, usually represent women. The cards kept using these, and I think they were using them sometimes to represent Khabib's titles or titles that were being fought for, and then other times it seemed like it was representing maybe women in his family. So there's that, and it seemed to me that Dana may very well. There are a couple of possibilities, with the cards and stuff. Sometimes you do need context because they give you so much to go off of. They give you so many different scenarios when they're in combination. So you have to know some of the context sometimes. But it looks like there's a possibility that Dana could be putting together like a fight between two women that would be like a really nice draw, and that's going to be done fast. And he's trying to focus on that in order to get, kind of move this UFC thing out of the way, because I feel like in the other video there was a little bit of Dana having a little bit of up his own ass energy literally coming out in the cards, like, this is the way I make decisions, he's not really writing the decision, like correcting the decision. And that would be to actually look at Conor McGregor's participation, not only post fight, during the fight with all the cheating, the holding on the cage, the illegal knee, and all this. And then beforehand, actually throwing and shattering like the bus window and actually injuring people, glass shards everywhere. Somebody was like bleeding from a cut and all this, you know. I mean, and that was like, that's property. I mean, who had to pay for that? I don't really know. Um, but that kind of behavior, in addition to trying to stir up like major political shit, like major stuff that I feel this man could be held responsible for in retaliation in his own country, had he not been careful. And like Conor was like really playing very dirty. So let's see what's going on with Khabib. Okay, this really hopped out. This was representing his general energy before, let's say. So this is really like truth and fortitude. So I really feel like, again, Khabib is on the line here. Like, first of all, he's not doing anything. He's not moving. He's not going to really talk, I don't think, much more. I think what I hear is number one bullshit. So, well, it's so funny because it's like, it's not English. It's like English out of another consciousness, but it makes so much sense. So, number one bullshit, man. Number one bullshit. Um, so that's fun. Yeah, his honesty is going to propel his celebrity. I mean, really. his fortitude and the honesty and integrity of his fortitude is going to propel him. Like he's going to become, he's a little bit of the people's guy, you know, and the UFC is like stupidly allowing him to be made into an underdog, you know. Um, and that's why I say Dana also is pretty much up his ass. So now what is this? Hold on one second here. I'm interested to know what is this card representing. But what I'm going to do here is this. This card actually wanted to come out. I think I'm going to put it here. So I know some of you be having a heart attack. Oh my God, you know, why do you put that card? Shut the fuck up. Seriously. All right. People, I'm a little bit hostile, so just kindly bear with me. God, here's the devil card. The 5 of Cups, the devil. I'm gonna pull a whole spread over here. What's going on with Khabib? He is totally good. Like, you know, Khabib will take this to the end of the line. He doesn't care. You know, I'm not gonna say he wouldn't want his money, but he is definitely on principle, and there is nothing that's gonna move him off of principle. Okay, again, here in the end, I feel like somebody is trying to work on some kind of agreement. I don't know if it's the UFC now, or I know Khabib is getting like he's getting like a lot of offers, a lot of communication. So let me see what's going on. His stardom is like, it's going to be off the hook because of the stance that he's taking. You know, he feels in control. He feels very, very solid and very good with his decision of just everything that he said. I think it was out of the UFC's sort of unfairness. And again, the unfairness in applying penalties and applying license to be able to review what happened and things like that. And then holding the purse, but giving the other person their purse. Yeah, we gave Conor his purse. Conor really allowed to have his purse. You know, except like I said in the other video, the guy who punched Conor, that's the only person to me like really, really needs to be like really penalized. You know, you can kind of see why you want to punch Conor in the face, because he talks so much disrespectful, over the top disrespectful stuff. But that was still messed up from a guy, especially who just got choked. So, you know. Anyway, so let me just take a look here and see what's going on. I'm going to go on ahead and say with this card and with this clarifier here, the UFC is on the losing side of this in so many ways. And they're really making this man into like an underdog and somebody for the people and somebody treated unfairly, but with a clean purpose, and, you know, somebody very, very strong. Like his his popularity is it's just gonna blow up when I tell you, night and day. And I'm talking about internationally past the UFC. It's gonna blow up. Hold on one second here. So there are a lot of issues. I feel like people may have issues with dirty contracts in the UFC as well. Like some players not being, not players, but some fighters not being treated fairly and not being allowed to fight, but being bound into these contracts. And so they can't even like make any real income. You know, the fights are not being arranged for them. And yet somehow the UFC is making some kind of money off them. I don't know if it's through like selling jerseys with their name on it or something like that. I don't know, or it's something. So I feel like there's a group of guys, maybe even separately from Khabib, who might be banding together and leaving, you know, like really defying them, but their contracts are really, you know, um, they're really binding. So there's a bit of an issue there. Um, Meanwhile, I feel like the UFC has kind of lost some edge here. A lot, I feel like people are walking away and they haven't verbalized it yet, but people are getting tired of this. And then there are other agreements that are coming up. So let's see what else is going on. I think for Khabib though, like probably by the time if he isn't home back now, which I imagine he probably is. Here goes Khabib right here. This was representing him before in the other reading. So yeah, the fact that he just flew out over here over the sun, like it's almost like he's like, I don't even care about my popularity, about fame. It's almost like he came in this reading and was like, screw all of that, it's the principle, it's the principle, it's the principle. It's like he came and was like, I don't even care about this. But he is going to be able to create something. He may have like some people who've been watching him for a while and have a really good rapport with him, and they understand his struggle and the injustice or whatever. And they feel he hasn't been treated fairly and maybe not even paid fairly, not paid like high enough. Yeah, I kind of see that here too. But yeah, there's some agreements coming up. But again, like I said before in the other video, it's like he's not, I don't think he really wants to fuck with the UFC. He's not taking it on. He's not, whatever they offer him, he's just going to walk away. And, he put a lot of work and a lot of time in that, and he's still going to walk away from it because he's on GP, on principle, on all these things. Okay, for me, this card came up again. This was representing Conor McGregor. It was seeming like based on the other surrounding data, and that Conor had, or like Dana or somebody might have gotten Conor to be like, okay, look, all he wants is probably like for you to just kind of kowtow to him a little bit. So just go and apologize and see if we can get this rematch. I believe they want that. He's already rejected that. But I didn't know that when I don't remember knowing that when I did the reading earlier, but he was rejecting a lot of stuff. It came up a few times. He was rejecting things that they were asking him for, but they had this whole thing with like Conor, like secretly sort of contacting him somehow and, wanting this rematch. So what I saw again actually reminded me later on was that, Conor looks like he's like not only having some kind of addiction, like maybe he drinks too much. I'm not sure that that's a secret or something because he seems like the type. There's some kind of addiction going on there, but also like I feel like he's chained off in some bad deals outside of his sport, like some bad business deals. It could be with like some really bad people. So I feel like he really kind of needs money. And so yeah. But he may have down the line, he may like have trouble. Like, I don't know if he's like involved with like some mob. He was like involved with some grimy people that he would need to watch his back with. Hold on here. What is this? So I feel like when we're talking about Conor, it's talking about more about his kind of bad deals. And that's what I think. Ugh. And he's kind of all over the place, and I feel like he's juggling money. So what's his thing, and who flew out over this? It's like, you know what? Khabib is not taking any money that flew out over this, and he's not going to change his mind. This is like no movement, no movement. We want to let you know. It's almost like he's like his energy saying, I even want people who doing psychic reading on me knowing I'm not going to accept this contract, whatever they bring to me. 30 million. I'm not going to accept it. So let's see what he's going to be up to. Let's see what he's going to be up to. It's almost like he's kind of listening and was like, don't talk about Conor even coming to me with his number one bullshit offer. It's such a good saying. Number one bullshit. Oh, this is number one bullshit right here. That's so good. What are you doing, Khabib? What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. I'll be telling some people off. I'll be cutting some people off. Even blocking people on social media. This devil card comes up again. I feel like his wife is pregnant. I told you that before. But this is like a little bit weird. I don't know if his wife, I know there was something like, it seemed like possibly like there might have been a death maybe in his wife's family. I'm not exactly sure. There's this need for him to be home. I don't like the way he's kind of rushing toward this over here. But there's like this devil card over here. I don't like that either. So I also want to read this another way. There could be some business issues that she's having trouble with. So he's kind of like, I got to get home and handle this because my wife, you know, they're kind of, you know, I don't know if this is like some business, some extra business stuff separate from the UFC. Let's see what's going on. Whether she's like, no, he would never rush home with like this if she was having like a personal issue or something. I keep feeling like in his readings, like he owns a lot of land or something, or this has to do with land and there's his wealth is tied up in land. They have a lot of it, and I think that he could sell it. I'm not exactly sure. If anybody knows, just let me know. But this whole thing with land keeps kind of coming up. All right, so look, as far as, all right, maybe this is his, I think based on all these cards here, this is actually not a woman. This is his power, his status, his earning power. His earning power. It's going to get better over time. Well, it could go either way, but it should get better over time. Right now, of course, it's been cut down, you know, his money-making opportunities. I feel like, again, like a lot of his money might be tied up in land at home. So I don't think that they want to sell that land, but I feel like they have a lot of it. Or if it's not that, it could be him just feeling really isolated and leaving the UFC, you know, and I feel like he feels isolated in that, you know, not being respected and no enforcement to respect him, or just no acknowledgement of honoring certain things that should be respected. And I just don't think that he's going to tolerate that. I think there's a leaving. Like, I really do think he's out as soon as he could be. I saw it in the other reading. You guys could check it. That's a good long one. So I'm going to just handle these cards. All right. Well, yeah, I feel like maybe his family has some kind of personal business off to the side anyway. And there might be just like entirely too many people involved in this situation. And there may be this need to kind of get in the middle of that. I don't know who, and I can't imagine. He doesn't drink or anything like that, as I remember. This could be an issue with, this could be the UFC again, and this could be like Conor McGregor, like being sloppy as hell, like with his addictions. That's what that kind of seems like, because this was representing Conor before, coming through for Conor before. Yeah, you guys can see that. You can see that first video, and it's just going to tell you like a lot more about what Khabib wants to do, why he's leaving, why, you know, he's rejecting a lot of offers. You know, the UFC is a little bit on shaky ground. You know, Dana is not playing his cards right. And then he's also underestimating Khabib, and it's kind of stupid, given that you can see all the way this man fights in the ring. Obviously his strategy is going to be very similar in business. So he's like, calm down, like, oh, I'm not gonna leave the UFC. And when I have a moment, I'm gonna fuck you over monetarily and try to destroy you. That's what I feel. Like, not maybe in that form, but something. He wants some kind of, I was saying, not a level of revenge, but like, oh, you need to pay the piper. We're not waiting for karma to come around or wondering whether or not karma exists, and is on its job. You're going to pay the piper when the time is right. I'm going to see to it. So there could be too many parties involved in this situation, and that's going to phase out. I think he just doesn't like that. He's the type of person to cut the fat. He's going to phase that out. Um, Yeah, all this clicking bullshit going on in the UFC. He's okay with it because he's just gonna prevail in the end. He's gonna prevail. He's gonna have the voice of the people and therefore the power and the leverage. So it's really good for him. You guys could check that out. The other video, I have pulled the truth bomb for it, and it was like no, saying no is the way to yes or something like that. I pulled the truth bomb for Khabib, and the truth bomb was really, really good. So, yep, that's it. I'm going to go on, and you guys have a good evening. Bye-bye.